The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
NFL Network host Kyle Brandt called out Jet fans and said, we got to raise our standards. We'll play you what he had to say. And the reason why he said it, our guest is the reason why he joins us. Will Parkinson stopping by. It's the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started.
We sitting in here, we excited as hell.
Now it's time to get to work. Are you a happy guy?
Oh my goodness, let's go!
I haven't felt joy talking about the Jets in a long time. When they announced it, I went, yeah! Let's go!
A new chapter for the Jets has started. Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji are tasked with shaping the future of this franchise. Will they be the ones to finally get it right? We will be here for every step of the journey on the Jake Asman Show, breaking down all the storylines, every game, and everything in between. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super Chats, baby. Cut the line. The Jake Asman Show starts right now. Here we go, Jet fans. Welcome in, everybody. It is indeed the Jake Asman Show presented by PrizePicks. Reminder for those of you coming to Nashville, baby, we're under a month until we get down for the Jet Super Bowl. That's right. Jets at the Titans on September 13th, the day before on Saturday, September 12th. Free event. It's free if you RSVP, no cover charge at Barstool, Nashville. I'll be doing a live show from there. Great meetup of Jet fans. We're over 500 people already coming to this thing. It is going to be awesome. Cannot wait to be with all the Asmaniacs at Barstool, Nashville the day before, and then tailgate the next morning. GameDayFlightCrew.com, waterfront location next to the stadium, barbecue, beers, alcohol, a live DJ, and more. Tickets are $10 off if you use the code JAKE10 at checkout at GameDayFlightCrew.com. Spread the word to all the Jet fans you know in your life, and make sure they use that code so they can save some money as well. Let's say hello to a man who has started quite a stir of conversation, at least on my radio station I work for. That is Will Parkinson of Badlands and TOJ. Will, I kid you not, I think the comments that Kyle Brandt made referring to a conversation he had with you about what the expectations should be for the Jets has been covered in every day part of the ESPN New York lineup, including when I was on yesterday filling in for Chris Carlin. So I mean, excellent job by you. Ty did a segment today. You know, the afternoon show, the morning shows covered it. I mean, you started quite the content spree with your text message exchange with Kyle Brandt.
Kyle texted me and was like, full transparency. Whatever. Kyle's a good friend and was at the wedding and the whole thing. So this is not like uncommon. He usually will be like, hey, like, how are you feeling about the team? Where are we at? You know, whatever. And I was like, I feel cautiously optimistic, but like, you know, there's obviously question marks and stuff like that. And I feel like 7 or 8 wins would be a good season if the young players played well and they won some division games. And like, you know, they beat New England or Buffalo when it mattered, right? Like in one of the earlier games in the year. And I don't know, I'd be like, and the young guys are good. Hey, that'd be a really big positive step in the right direction. They haven't won more than 7 games in 11 years, 10 years. And I was like, that'd be a really positive step in the right direction where we actually believed in the young roster, and the coach even at that point probably would show enough where people were like, you know, actually might change my tune on Aaron Glenn. And it was just funny, Jake, because I'm not surprised, but a lot of people were like, hey, 7 and 10, 8 and 9, like shouldn't be good enough. I was like, listen, man, the goal is to make the playoffs. No doubt about it, right? Every year the goal is to win Super Bowl and to make the playoffs. And I'm not sitting here pretending like I won't be the happiest person in the world if they make the playoffs. But I also don't want to sit here and have unrealistic expectations for a team that's a 5.5 over/under win total. That when they won 3 games last year and they were by the skin of their teeth at that point, if they won 7 or 8 games, man, and the young players are good, and you see real genuine progress where there's actually something to build around, I do think that's a win for a team that's been bad for a really long time. Like, we can't sit here and scoff at that. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, and I know people are gonna be like, that's a loser attitude. I saw one guy called into Rothenberg and the EPH was like, this loser talking about 7 wins. I'm like, dude, they won 5 games with Aaron Rodgers and Devontae. Like, what are we doing here? We got to be at least some realistic set expectations to start the year.
So let's play the full clip here. So I pulled it again. Will described it well. Kyle Brandt asked him for his thoughts on the Jets and the expectations. And this was the segment on NFL Network's Good Morning Football.
My friend Will Parkinson is all over the Jets. He talks about them morning, noon, and night, his podcast, and different platforms. So I enlist the Jets fan friend. I'm like, I could easily watch the game from my perspective, but I want the real grassroots, man of the people type perspective. How do you feel about the Jets this year? And his first response is like, well, we got 3 wins in 2027 and $100 million in cap space. I'm like, all right. I know. What about this year? If I were to slide you across the table a deal for the Jets this year, and that deal, when you turn it over, says 7-10, would you take 7-10? And he's like, well, do the young players look good on defense? I say, yes. Can we get 3 divisional wins out of that 7-10? I'm like, fine. He's like, yeah, hell yes, I would take 7-10. And this is a guy who is optimistic about the Jets. And I'm always saying in August, shoot for the stars. Say you're going to go 9-8 and sneak a wild card. No, I have it from the authority of true voice of the New York Jets that if the young players look good and there's 3 divisional wins, which is a lot, 7-10 would be a victorious season for them. I think it's being a little modest. I think they could be better.
What's funny is last year you were at the 9 wins that he's talking about there. You believed in this team and thought they were going to be better. I think what you described and what Kyle described is not awful. My pushback would be, there's different versions of 7-10. Like there's soft 7-10s. What if they have 6 wins going into the last game of the year and then they beat the Buffalo Bills backups, right? Like Adam Gase was the king of the soft 7-win season. They started 1-7 and then finished 7-9, and their wins were against crappy teams. And they even lost to the 0-11 Bengals that year. So, like, I just think it really comes down to how it looks. Now, one of the things in there that I do think is important is, of course, the younger players playing well. That matters. That's one thing that Saleh could point to and why he lasted into his 4th year. We did see, especially on the defensive side of the ball, younger players get better. So that's something you need to see. The division record's interesting, though, right? 3-3. Yeah, that'd be major improvement. You didn't win a division game last year, but everyone's telling you the Miami Dolphins are tanking and they're the worst team in the NFL. So if you beat them twice and then you win 1 more between Buffalo and New England, is 3-3 good enough in that scenario? That's the question. Like, were they competitive in the losses? So I don't know if I would just blanket sign for that. There's too much unknown, but I think that is at least a scenario where, all right, you feel like they did make significant progress overall, despite the record still being 7-10.
Yeah, it kind of feels like, in one way, one team I kind of thought about was even the Saints last year, where they, when they finished 7-10, they got hot towards the end of the year, but they beat a couple of good teams. They started to see some promise out of the young guys. Olave was awesome. A lot of their rookie class and second-year guys really showed flash. They feel like you feel good about the coach now because you're like, Kellen Moore started to do some nice things here. They obviously were adding pieces in the draft and things like that. I think part of the difficulty of the conversation with the Jets is that because they don't have a quarterback that we feel like is going to be the future guy, right? And maybe some people think Klubnik is or isn't. It makes the conversation a little bit more difficult. And the reason I would push back on the Saleh 7-10 is in some ways like Saleh's shortcomings as a coach really exemplified themselves that year, where they could not win games down the stretch. There was a lot of failed to show up in big moments. They were bad in situationally. It felt like they got out coached at time. Like that's where, like, again, to your point, there's nuance to it, right? Whereas, hey man, the Jets start 4-4 and they finish 3-6 or 4-5 or in one of those scenarios, right? They win 7 or 8 games. But hey, they were really competitive. They upset Denver. Let's say they upset Denver and they beat New England early in the year. And, Glenn takes care of the games he's supposed to, and they're competitive. They lose 1-score games because Gino's just not the guy, that can go head toe-to-toe with an Allen or Herbert or Mahomes. But, like, competitive all year. There's lack of blowouts. They're in every game. You're seeing real tangible progress. That, to me, is kind of what I'm talking about there is, like, a non-playoff scenario where you leave the year and you go, you know what? I feel really good, and it's not because you won 2 in a row to end the year against, J.J. McCarthy at that point and the Bills backups. It's because you got to Glenn has a couple feathers in his cap. Hey, I beat the number 1 seed in the AFC a year ago. I beat a division rival on the road. Different things like that. Again, like they haven't won in Miami in forever. And again, you would hope they could beat a team like Miami, who has kind of shown you they're actively not necessarily trying to be very good this year. And they're thinking about more towards the future. But at some point, and I know people don't want to hear this, I think it's easy to just say lose games. That's how you're going to fix the franchise. Jake, I don't know that that's necessarily even accurate. Like, I think in certain scenarios, and you get the once in a lifetime Peyton Manning situation, the Cowboys, obviously with Aikman and stuff like that. I know those things have happened, but even the guys that have been the number one picks that have won the Super Bowl, like Matt Stafford didn't win the Super Bowl with the Lions. It took him to get traded for multiple first round picks halfway through, middle 10, 12 years into his career. I look at the examples as of recently, and again, I know these guys are the best players in the league, but for what it's worth, the Buffalo Bills broke their playoff drought and then traded up twice to go get Josh Allen. The Chiefs had Alex Smith. We're a team that was 11-5, 12-4, and traded up to go get Mahomes. The Ravens traded up for Lamar. The Eagles took Hurts in the second round. The Cowboys took Dak. The Seahawks and Rams both traded for veterans to get there. The Bucs signed Baker Mayfield. The Lions traded for Jared Goff. The Niners took Brock Purdy. Like, there's more than one way to skin a cat here. The Broncos took Bo Nix at 12. So my point is Jordan Love trade up with a team that was already good. So a lot of these teams have had good infrastructure. They've changed the culture. They feel good about the coach, good about the GM, the roster. And then they're able to use draft capital and free agency money to go up and build around a rookie quarterback. Houston obviously was bad and got good quite quickly. That's kind of a unique scenario. I don't know that it always, as good as Jake, like as good as Joe Burrow is, the Bengals, are still a bad franchise. And they've been perpetually bad for the last couple of years because Burrow gets hurt and everything around him and the coaching's not good enough. My point, and all in this is to say, is like, I think it's very easy to go into this year and have realistic expectations, hope they win football games. And if they do, enjoy it. And if they're bad and they end up being really bad, Glenn won't be the guy. You'll ride out the season. You'll pick in the top 5 and things will go from that perspective. But I just feel like it's this, you have to pick one to fix the franchise. And like 5 guys have won Super Bowls as the number one pick with the franchise they actually started with. And it's like, it's the list you would think of. It's, Terry Bradshaw back in like the 70s, and it's Troy Aikman, obviously, as we know, and it's Eli. And Eli, again, Matt Stafford is a guy who didn't even win it with the team yet. He was, picked by, and Peyton. And he won 1, and he was he's one of the 2-3 best players ever, quarterback wise, and he was with that franchise forever and won 1. So my point is, I think it's important to prioritize winning games and setting a realistic expectation that, because Jake, and I guess I'll leave it at this. I just went off on a tangent there, but let's say go 3-14, but like guys are healthy all year, aren't you then concerned? Like, I love Muji right now, but then you're concerned Muji might be bad too, because these guys might not be are these players as good as we thought they were, or is it just coaching? Can you only blame coaching? That would be a little scary to me 2 years into a regime if Membu's regressing and Olu's not the guy we thought, and Sadiq looks like crap. Like, that would be a little scary to me if they're going to win 3 games, unless again Geno gets hurt and they play out the string.
So that would concern me, but I think they could be bad and we still could feel good about some young players because we just went through it this past year. Yeah. Like, Membu was great. They still won 3 games, Like, I think that scenario you described would be, you'd definitely be concerned, but I have a hard time thinking that like we'd feel awful about all these players. They're just too talented. Like, I don't think David Bailey's going to suck. He could be very good and they still could be a 4 or 5 win team. So like Myles Garrett was the best player in the NFL. He was in Cleveland. He won nothing. So that would be my one pushback to that. That said, I see your point. To me, it's not just about the quarterback though. It's about the head coach. So it's getting the right head coach with the quarterback, and your job is an attractive one to get both in the same offseason. And the reason why the Patriots took off the way they did is Mike Vrabel got there. Drake May was there as a rookie. The reason why Ben Johnson chose the Bears is he saw the potential in Caleb Williams, and they figured out like great coaches could take a quarterback they think is talented and make it work. The reason why the Raider job was attractive for the top offensive guy this cycle in Kubiak was because they could pick Fernando Mendoza. So to me, it's not just about drafting the quarterback. It's also about getting one of the top coaches. And I don't even know if the Jets need the number 1 pick to do that because they never get the number 1 pick. And I wouldn't expect them to get it this year. They're probably, if they're bad, going to be picking 2 or 3 like they always are. They're never bad enough to get that top pick. So I think it's just about, if you're not going to be relevant, like in the hunt, fighting for a playoff spot, I understand why fans are like, just give me the 3-win season and let's get a new staff in here. We have some young talent. We have $100 million in cap space. We have 3 ones. We'll get a top coach. Let them then figure out the direction for the franchise. The other thing I'd bring up too, it's not just 7-10 and say, okay, I'd sign for that. It's, can you get off to a good start so we have a season? Like, don't do the Gase 1-7 start. Don't do Aaron Glenn 0-7, then you win 3 of your next 5 against backup QBs. Nobody cares at that point. Go win week 1 and then go find a way to win 1 of your next 3 and then beat the Browns and be 3-2 going into the middle of October. That's what I want to see. I want to see real improvement.
Can they be 6-8 with 3 to go? And it's like, hey, they're probably not going to make the playoffs, but they're in it. They're playing. This game technically matters. They're in it. They're playing a competitive game. It matters for the teams they're playing. And they go, I don't know, pick whatever game. I don't know. Even if it's, let's say they win 8 games for the season. They're 7-9 going into week 18, and they're playing up in Buffalo. And Buffalo needs that game. And the Jets go in there similar to what Detroit did, and they upset, when Green Bay, obviously Rodgers last year, Detroit went in there and like they had nothing to really play for, right? Like they were eliminated, and they were 7-9, I believe, at that point, or 8, whatever it was, 8-8, whatever. And they go in there and they take one from Josh Allen at the end of the year, and you're like, whoa, like that's tangibly like Glenn won a game. He needs to win I think, Jake, 2 games this year, maybe that they're not favored in. They have no expectation of winning. It could be against good teams where you go, whoa, like part of the reason Saleh got, I felt like, year 4, even though he shouldn't have in a lot of ways. The Eagles and the Bills wins were legit, man. And they should have beat the Chiefs if Zach Wilson doesn't piss down his leg on.
Well, he won 7 games and the whole team was built around Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, it was like, hey man, they had 2 or 3 really impressive performances in that year where you felt like they could play up to their competition. I feel like Glenn has shown that they actually can, like in this first year, the one thing he did show is like they can beat teams they're supposed to beat. That's cool. And the Jets usually don't do that and whatever. I also now need to see Glenn go in, and we almost saw it against Denver and against Carolina, which were 2 playoff teams, and I guess Pittsburgh, so 3. Point being, they didn't win those games though. While they were competitive, and that was nice, and they should have won arguably all 3 of those if they have any semblance of both coaches.
He blew Denver. That's on the head coach.
No, Denver's on the coach, and it's on, not trusting Fields. If you couldn't trust him, you shouldn't have been in the game. So even though, yes, you could blame Fields, on that point, I think Glenn should have pulled the trigger. We all thought so at halftime of that game. And Tyrod probably should have started against Carolina, and they probably win both those games. I don't blame Glenn for Pittsburgh. I felt like they actually did, like, you blame him if you want about Gibson being on the roster. That's 100% fair. I don't actually thought he coached well in that game. Like they went for 2 when they were supposed to, and they did some exciting stuff. I just want to see consistency, man. I want to see a team that's like the entire season the arrow's pointing up, and they're going to go through ebbs and flows because any team in the NFL does. But can you get off to start 2-2? Can you give people some confidence? Like, hey, man, again, Glenn went and beat Detroit. They win week 1, they lose week 2, and then holy shit. They beat the Lions in Detroit, and it's like that's a feather in Glenn's cap now that he's prepared. Things are going the right way. I think people kind of get it misconstrued. There is a subsection of the fan base that just hates Glenn, and they're never going to give up on it, and that's fine. And there's a subsection that loves Glenn, and they'll never kind of concede he's not good.
We call those the bootlickers.
I think that there's a majority of the fan base that is dying for him to be a good coach. People want to see wins. And
there's no evidence he's a good coach. There's not a single thing you could point to that suggests
nothing last year to me was, even though there was a few moments where you're like, ooh, maybe it wasn't consistent enough or over a long enough stretch where it was, going to happen. So to me,
and we're even looking for the ooh, maybe, because he's a former Jet. Robert Saleh was not going to get the benefit of the doubt. If they hired Arthur Smith, he was not going to get the benefit of the doubt. The only reason why people are holding out hope is because he played for the Jets and was a very good player.
Yeah, and it would be a cool story, man. Like, again, maybe it's just you fall in love with the storylines, but that's part of sports, right? That's why we love it. It's the excitement. Like, there was nothing would be cooler than, even if Glenn's not the guy. Like, you guys, I've heard you use the Tom Thibodeau example a lot. Dude, he'd be a franchise legend even 25 times over, even if he doesn't ever take the Jets to the promised land. If he gets them back to just being a relevant, normal, good franchise, the way they were when he played here, and he was part of that turnaround as a player, would just be such a nice, again, even if he's not the guy to get you over the hump, even if he's the guy to get you over right now, the hump has become a normal, solid, run-of-the-mill NFL franchise that just like, hey, man, you go into the year and like things swing the right way and you could have a really good year. And if they have a down year, they're 6-11, 7-10. I know we talked about like kind of the scenario Kyle laid out. I think the worst case scenario is that you go 5-12 and you have absolutely no idea if you're good or not. That is like, you're not convinced of the young players, but they were good, but you're kind of like, you're not sure.
Do I get a new coach in that scenario though?
You get a new coach in that scenario. But
I'd sign for that. I'd sign for that over 7-10 and Glenn comes back and we still don't know.
You pick, I don't know, it's like a weird year where to me, again, also one of the two kind of also different things are like what's going to happen with the Colts, the Packers, and the Cowboys. The Cowboys look awesome. And they're the Cowboys, and Dak unfortunately gets hurt every other year, and last year was not hurt, so you never know. But Dallas feels like a team that's going to be really good. They made a lot of really good additions on defense. Green Bay, I have no idea. They're probably a 7 or 8 win team that could become a 12 or 13 win team if Micah's healthy and Kraft's healthy and these guys. But we don't know. Micah's not playing until October. The Colts are the weird one, man. Tyler Warren left practice today, limping off the field. They're signing Keenan Allen in the end of August. Alec Pierce has not touched the football field yet. Daniel Jones is coming back from an Achilles. That's a staff that's on the line. If you're a Jets fan, and this is what I would recommend, the first month of the season, again, hopefully they show you something where you can invest in then in October, right? And they show you enough in October to invest in December from a Jets perspective. You got to be rooting avidly against Indianapolis, I think, first of all. And then it's important the Jets in some ways win week 2, man. Like, you help your own draft position and you win football games. Like, that's kind of the dream, right? So yeah, I don't know. I think this year is so much about the eye test. I think we'll know pretty quickly if Glenn's got a good pulse of like, he knows what he's doing. And if he doesn't, we'll probably know it right away as well. And be like, oof.
I mean, they're 0-4. It's over at that point. He's not recovering from that.
Yeah. I know you've made this point a bunch. It feels like winning week 1 buys them like 5 or 6 extra weeks of relevancy where, hey man, we just got to get through this hard stretch of the NFC North. And then we got 3 of the next 4 at home. And, we can get back to 4-4. We can get back to 3-5 and like give ourselves a shot of doing something the second half of the year. It's just, you can't get off to a slow start. Now, I don't know if they will. I really like things in Tennessee do not, and maybe it's just training camp and we get caught up in this stuff, Jake, and we'll both be down there. Everything you read about Tennessee is like, it's a mess. And Cam Ward looks like Zach Wilson, and Carnell Tate's hurt now, and Calvin Ridley's doing this, and the offensive line's a mess, and Jacob Martin starting at one of the edge spots with Jermaine Johnson, and it's like, oof. It's like 4-year-older 2022 Jets defensive line. Cordell Flott covering Garrett Wilson sounds like a good time. All that's great, but if you don't show up and beat Tennessee, it doesn't matter, right? Like, we can say all the things we want. I think the Jets are a better roster than Tennessee, and I would be really cool if Glenn could actually do something that he did. One thing Jets coaches never do. He won out of the bye last year, Jake. Can you do something other Jets coaches never do, which is win a revenge game? They never win their revenge game ever. It would be very anti-Jets to be.
He already lost a revenge game last year to Rodgers.
Right. So I'm saying, like, it'd be nice to. Can we win one of them? Like, we don't have to talk about it too much.
Yeah, it just he has to win that game again. Like, sure, they could beat the Packers week 2, and then it's like, oh, you were so worked up. Okay, like, yeah, and I hope if they lose week 1, they definitely win week 2. What confidence would I have that that's going to happen? And then they're beyond that. If you lose week 1, you're going on the road in weeks 3 and 4 where you're going to be a touchdown plus underdog in those games, especially if you're 0-2. Like, the Packers are probably going to be 4.5, 5-point underdog, depending on how you look week 1, especially if you lose, you'll definitely be that. Like, you have to just find a way to stack some wins early and show that last year was a huge outlier and things are going to be different, because a bad start, he's done. It's over. Forget it.
Yeah. It just would be nice. It'd be nice to get off to a decent start. It'd be also, Jake, they've talked a lot about changing the culture, and one good way to change the culture is to win football games early.
Maybe the only way.
It's like I said, at some point you got to win games, and whether you believe it or not, I would be really nice. And I keep saying this, it'd be really nice to start off 2-2,
3-2, playing the Browns, right?
Playing the Patriots, and it's like, oh, like, this game actually matters. And
well, their first 8 games, 4 of them are against bad teams. Tennessee, the Dolphins, the Raiders, the Browns. They should be 4-4 through 8 if this team is well coached.
Yeah, and like, dude, we're sitting there 4-4. There's at least a reason. There's at least a reason to be like, okay, maybe they have figured some stuff out, and there is progression here, and it gets you buy-in from some of the young players and some of the veterans that at some point, are going to get tuned out by it. Like, you don't want to lose Garrett Wilson eventually. Eventually, you are going to. He's going to be a guy that eventually gets sick of the losing, and he already is sick of the losing, obviously. But I really think, like, can you develop, like, again, another feather in Glenn's cap or not in Glenn's cap would be like, do you develop the young players that you drafted, you picked, right? Like developing a David Bailey, developing, Azaria Thomas, these guys that like they brought in, they're going to be defensive starters this year.
How about have an interception? I mean,
I think Minka's getting one early week 1.
Robert goes, I just want to see an interception if possible. Can we get one early? I mean, come on.
They're going to get Cam on what they used to get Zach on, which is, I think they're going to bring pressure the first drive or two, and then they're going to like send a bunch of simulated stuff that's going to be. Cam likes to sit back there and pat the football and like run around. He's really good at it. No one's like, he's an ultra talented dude, but that's what they used to do with Zach, and the Patriots would stop blitzing guys, and they'd bring 7 or 8 guys up to the box, and they'd show these crazy pressures, and they just drop 8 guys in coverage, and Zach's brain would break. And I'm not saying Cam Zach. I'm just saying like it's the classic. Think your internal clock speeds up, and then you make a bad decision. You don't see the linebacker just sitting in the hole. And I feel like they're going to move Minka around, and he'll get his hands on a couple of footballs this year, and hopefully early. Dude, if they can get an interception in the first quarter and just like move on, you know what I mean? And it's like that just dies right away. Again, it's one of those things where like this is such a maybe this is the optimist in me, Jake, and whatever. They feel like such a team where like things could teeter so easily this year, where if you get some stuff out of the way early, you could have a much more fun year than you expect.
That's why, even though I got pushback from people in the Jets world, by the way, why I think week 1 is so important for everything you're saying, because it changes the whole tenor of the season. If you have a win against your ex-coach, and okay, we're not 0-7, we're 1-0, things feel different.
They win week 1 last year. I think they finished 7-10 or 8-9.
I don't know about that, but they're definitely in a better shape.
Then they beat Denver and Carolina, these teams, because they're playing with confidence, and it's like they probably win. Maybe they win 6 games, and who would have cared, right? It didn't matter. At the end of the day, it's probably better what happened last year. It just week 1 doesn't matter a ton for everybody, but it matters a ton when you're a team trying to reset your culture, reset the vibes. It takes so much pressure off of you, where they can kind of be carefree week 2. Jake, you kind of come out and you're like, we don't give a fuck. Like we're 1-0. We're not supposed to win this game. We're at home. It'd be nice to like.
It relieves the pressure, because they're going to be feeling it for that entire week going into the home opener, where half the building, besides you and the Jet fans making the trip, is Packers fans if they're 0-1. So I'm with you. While you brought up Minka, I'm assuming you're going to say smash the more on this over at PrizePicks.
I think he ends up with 3.
So Minka's at 1.5. Will's saying go more. I agree. I think he gets at least 2. So if you're doing a Jets future lineup with PrizePicks, put Minka more than 1.5 interceptions on that. Use code HMA, play your first $5, get $150 in lineups if you win. Well, I want to pull up a tweet from a guy I had on my radio show yesterday, Connor Hughes of SNY. Today at practice, Connor tweeted this: Cade Klubnik completed a pass to Garrett Wilson just now for a short gain. Thought it was good blocking from Olu Fashanu and Armand Membo to give him time. Finished the drive with a touchdown to Jelani Woods. The previous tweet was Geno Smith off to a bad start today. He started 0 for 3. I don't think Geno Smith actually completed a pass in team drills. There were 2 that were completed that were called back to penalties. This is the first time that we have seen Cade Klubnik get drives with the ones in practice, and Connor tweets out the gif of you need to read between the lines. And then, because everyone was saying, what the hell's going on here? He goes, I want to specify something. Geno Smith's still the Jets' unquestioned starting QB. Cade is not getting him benched anytime soon. But I don't know. Connor putting this out there in the first place, he's stroking the fire of the Jet fan here. What do you make of this?
It feels like Geno's a little more banged up right now, and just like they're managing his reps a little bit. And I think getting Cade some more experience. I mean, listen, Geno played, I think Rich had this on your pod on Jets Collective yesterday. It's like 17 total preseason snaps between the 3 years in Seattle. He doesn't need preseason snaps. Would it be nice to get a couple drives and kind of see how things unfold? Yeah, for sure. But I want Klubnik to get every single rep possible over the next couple weeks to properly evaluate him, because I'm still an advocate that like they should be bringing in some form of a vet to take some of the pressure off, especially early in the year of Klubnik. I don't want to rush him. I want him to be properly developed. But yeah, I mean, look, I think it's a good thing to get Cade as much experience as possible and not have a situation where, God forbid, something happens with Gino that like Cade's never practiced with the first team. I think that's always a little bit of a dicey situation. So lighter practice, I'm not going to read too much into it. I think we'll know pretty quickly if that's like a real thing. It feels like one of those just situation kind of where
it's the first time he's taking reps with the ones, though. That's why it's notable.
I know. Yeah, no, listen, I get it. But it'll be interesting to see how they kind of deploy everybody on Friday. I feel like my gut kind of says maybe Gino isn't going to play Friday, and they try to listen. If he's hurt at all, he should not be. I don't even know why he's practicing. Right? You know what I mean? Like I would let him rest as long as you need to, because the last thing you want to do is sit there and have like 2 weeks from now, if he was banged up and your quarterback room is Klubnik, Bailey Zappi, and Brady Cook. That's
agreed. If he's actually hurt, don't play him. But I think he needs the reps. Like,
I would like to see him at least get a drive or two in there and like just get some timing down. Hit Garrett.
New offense, new weapons, new offensive line. Like go through the process of getting the play call on the helmet from Frank Reich.
You kind of like to see what the starters in some ways did on Friday night, where it's like go in, they have 2 scoring drives, and they're playing backups, and I get it. They have 2 scoring drives. You get the guys out of there healthy, and then you kind of let the second team come in and give Klubnik and Cooper and these guys a ton of runway. And I don't know, remember the Denzel Mims a couple of years ago where it's like they gave him like 15 targets against the Giants that day. Like, part of me is like, I don't know, you give Klubnik, get 7 targets for Omar Cooper and shut the fantasy losers up.
You hate the fantasy losers. I listened to your rant about that.
I understand that a lot of people are highly invested in sports gambling and fantasy, and it's a wonderful thing, and it's awesome. There's a tweet that today was like, look at how different Garrett Wilson and Cooper move. Dude, Garrett's the most unique mover in the entire league. Like, he genuinely, the way he moves his body is very unique. There is nobody that really moves himself like that. So, yeah, he looks a little different than Omar Cooper. Omar Cooper looks like a receiver. Garrett Wilson moves in a very unique way. So, like, it just kind of feels like sour grapes from a lot of people that either weren't high on Cooper going into the draft or are pissed that he's not as high in dynasty leagues. Like, who cares, man? Like, it's the same way a lot of people will be like, oh, practice, don't get too excited about one practice. Like, you want me to get down about a practice as well? Like, I don't know. I just don't. Jake, I've been at 2 practices, and we watched the game on Friday, and I feel like Cooper's made plays in all 3 of the times I got to see him in person. Is he like... And is he Odell Beckham rookie year? Probably not, man. But like 2 people have ever in the history of the league been like that. I think we just have this expectation that everyone's going to be rookie year, like Garrett and Odell and Mike Evans and DeAndre Hopkins and Jamar Chase. Like, it just, those guys are very unique. And I think Cooper's going to be a normal first-round receiver that plays a role this year in a deep wide receiver room. And Isaiah Williams and A.D. Mitchell playing good football doesn't mean that he's cannot become a good player. I think both can be true.
The rookies in general, any concern with the fact that
I know I saw
a lot of injuries, man?
I watched yesterday. I'm not worried about Sadiq.
BT's worried. I won't go there, but BT was Mr. Optimist before the camp started. Now Sadiq hasn't practiced.
He'll be back.
Pons hasn't practiced yet. What's the deal with the rookie class? Your thoughts on 2026 rookie class? BJ Payne's hurt.
I know. We just had a lot of guys get banged up with like short-term injury, so it's frustrating. We're itching. Jake, I think part of the thing is, and I said this yesterday a little bit, they were so bad and so clearly tanked on the season with 5 weeks to go, right? They basically punted after they lost to Baltimore. That was the last kind of game where we saw any type of like a competitive effort with quarterback, and then it was over. Like, after that game, Brees fumbled, and it felt like the season kind of ended.
Did they play Miami the following week?
They played Miami. Tyrod got hurt in the first drive. And
that was it.
It was like, this is disgusting.
You actually had people excited about, oh, wow, they're playing well. Maybe they end the year strong.
They played well. Like, they played New England remotely competitively on Thursday night, and they played Baltimore pretty competitively. And it was like, oh, they've really turned a corner here. 3 out of 5 they've won, and the other 2 games they've been competitive against playoff teams. And then Tyrod pulls his groin like the first drive against Miami, and it was like, okay, season's over.
It was pretty
I'm
good.
gonna pack it up. And the reason I'm saying that is that we haven't watched a competitive football game since early December, And so it's like you're starving for stuff right now. I don't blame anybody. Listen, me and you for a living talk about this fucking team. So like, we get it. I'm just saying, like, I'm not worried. I think I'd be even almost more worried if they were rushing these guys back because they were so concerned. I think, especially with soft tissue, like with Pons with a calf, like as a DB, it'd be scary, man. Like if and make sure he is 1,000% ready to go, because getting the week 6 D'Angelo Pons towards Achilles after he had 5 good weeks would be like crushing. My only pushback on Sadiq played 14 games a year in college every year. And while he's a guy that I think takes, bumps and bruises and stuff, like toughness is never going to be a question. I think if this was a game week, they would probably be rushing him to practice right now. I think they're just taking it slower because they're like, if he's ready for week 1 and we got him ready to go. So I'm not worried yet, Jake. I'm really excited, frankly, about Bailey. And I think even Inez Cooper, man, like he might be a legit third interior offensive lineman, and maybe the Jets for once actually hit on a league average right guard or left guard that cost you $850K a year for 4 years, where you can invest that money somewhere else. So I'm not worried yet. I just think people are a little like disappointed just because of the three of the 5 guys have had injuries already, and they're short-term stuff, but at least they've had injuries. So it's like you didn't get to see them, so you kind of feel like disappointed more so than maybe you should on the face of it.
Yeah, let's hopefully they get them back soon and we get a chance to see them. Before I let you run, a couple super chats that I want to hit and get you to weigh in on. Doc Jet Fan is in our raffle for 2, and I haven't even mentioned the prize. Hopefully you guys watched the first show. We announced it. Signed Vinny Testaverde jersey is up for grabs if we get 15 people to enter during the show. So Doc is in for 2 with the super chat. He says, it's taken me 58 years as a Jet to define what the ultimate losing mentality is. It's when you truly believe losing is actually good for you. I'm not buying it. It's time to move forward, only forward. Yeah, I think to a certain extent, Doc, I agree with that. Like, I'm not going into the year rooting for the tank, but if this team just looks awful and it's clear this head coach is taking us nowhere, you could certainly argue it would behoove the Jets just to bottom out and get a top pick. Your job's more attractive for the next guy. Now, you can't just like plan to do that. Like, the goal is to try and win and be a surprise team. Like, it happens every year in the NFL. It's never the Jets. Maybe this is the year. So I understand.
Yeah,
it's just, it's tough, man. Like, it's 15 years of losing. It's 10 years of not even winning more than 7 games. It sucks.
It beats you down. My only thing is, and I've said this to you, I think you agree with this, like, it's the perfect scenario, man. If they're good and they surprise you, it's going to be one of the best stories of the NFL, and we're all going to have a great time. If they're bad, they're probably going to be really bad, and we can easily, you easily cope with it. And you're like, well, it's okay. We all knew they were going to be bad anyways. Like, they've kind of given us a layup here, where like they're either going to be really fun or
that's why they're going to probably win 6 games and piss us off. Yeah, of course
they'll do the Rodgers, beat Miami for absolutely no reason. They got Membu, which ended because the Raiders are idiots. And so are the Patriots. But yeah, I mean, they got lucky. They've gotten lucky the last couple of years with guys falling that probably in some way shouldn't have fallen. We'll see if it pans out. But I didn't think Sadiq would be there. I didn't think Membu would be there. And I didn't think Pons would get there. And they did. So hopefully these guys end up working out. But I don't know. The roster feels way better. And it feels like if Glenn and Gino can just be like fine.
I'm starting to get nervous about Gino.
I'm a little nervous only from this aspect. I don't like he played a good practice yesterday. But he's like, I feel like there was like, I'm not sure, like it was just the dog days of camp where he's just had a couple of bad days in a row. And this kind of usually happens where he has a bad day and then randomly like looks like Tom Brady the next day. It feels like he was like his hair on fire the first like 10 days of practice, and then kind of like he's had a couple up and down days in a row, and you just like hope he can kind of like snap back into it. But yeah, I don't know. Gino, I don't know, man. It's gonna be interesting. It's just one of those. I don't know. I don't know how else to explain it. Gino's just an enigma. Like he's one day he looks amazing, the next day he might not, and you just hope that this year at least you get some better days than not, so you can at least evaluate who you haven't. Like again, I said this a million times. Part of the reason last year was so frustrating was the quarterback play was so bad. You couldn't properly evaluate Mason Taylor. You have Garrett barely played. We couldn't even really evaluate A.D. Mitchell. He had the one game with Tyrod, and then Tyrod gets hurt. So you can't even evaluate these guys. I think that's part of the frustration. You hope that with Gino, or if it becomes Klubnik or whoever the guy is, can you evaluate their roster so you have an idea of who's going to be going, who's on the ride with you going forward and who's not, and who needs to get off the bus.
Amen. A couple quick hitters for you, then we'll let you run. This one is from M123. Says, if Cade Klubnik got the Jets 6-11, would you keep Aaron Glenn?
He's starting all 17 games, and he went 6 games as a fourth-round rookie. That's probably like that would be honestly one of the most difficult decisions, because then you're like, oh.
Well, how'd they win the 6? Is it because Klubnik was good?
Were they like a competitive where like he took his lumps as a rookie quarterback and everyone else around him looked good, and it's like
the Rex year with Gino, they were 8-8 though. Like that was to me Rex's most impressive coaching job in 2013.
Dude, winning 6 games this year with Cade Klubnik, I would like extend Glenn at that point, because he's a 4th-round rookie with a roster that's expected 5
What if
wins.
the defense stinks though?
You see what I'm saying? Like there's so many variables.
Then it's like, let's go get a real coach who's going to want to coach up Cade
Klubnik. I don't mean
Klubnik.
this is being a dick. Like I just genuinely, there's so many variables to that question that it's. I think if someone did the math today, I saw someone put out like a percentage wise. I think anything over 7 wins, he's 100% back. I think 7 wins, it's how it looks, and I think under that it becomes there would have to be extenuating circumstances where like he still looks good somehow. It does feel like 7 wins would be like, if it's a good 7 wins and we feel good about it. He won some games he wasn't supposed to. I think he's back. 8 wins, I think it's a no doubt he's back. I would be pretty surprised if they win 5 more games than the year prior if he wasn't back. Obviously, I think the playoffs he's back. 4, 5, or 6 feels like probably looking at a new coach. 4 definitely, 5 definitely, and then 6 is like you just said it. Gino gets hurt, but the defense looks amazing, and the young players, and they're just hampered so badly by quarterback. There's probably at least a conversation, but even at that point, you're at least, if you're having to have the conversation, I think you probably move off. And if you feel good, and I think the eye test checks out, you bring him back. I think it's kind of simple.
Unless you feel like he clearly did a good job and we're confident, you got to move on, because this draft class coming up is too important. It's the future of the Jets. They've been building to get their quarterback. You got to have the right coach. Otherwise, you're making the Sam Darnold mistake all over again. People are like, oh, the Jets can't draft the right quarterback. They did. They failed him. He won a Super Bowl. I watched it. You watched it. We all watched it. That's why I'm so just steadfast in my belief. You either know or you don't. If there's borderline, there's gray area, see you later, Aaron Glenn.
Yeah, and I think that's like same with bringing Gino back as a mentor, and Sherwood and the Stevens. Like if they don't look good, you move on, and if they do look good, you bring them back. Like I just think we'll know. I think we'll know. This does not feel like a year where we don't know. Like Rodgers, I think we knew. We were like, that didn't look right. And again, Fields was not the answer, obviously. But like we knew watching at the end of the year, we're like, this doesn't look like, whatever. Point being, I'm on the same page too.
Kashmir says, which Jet player do you think could be an All-Pro this year?
Ooh, Bailey? No.
Robbie Sabo is going to be in tears.
I know. Membu has a shot. Minka, I guess, has a shot if he has a really big statistical year, just because safeties are, there's not a ton of great safeties around the league. I don't know. It's just one that, like, all pro's tough, man. You got to win games. I guess the rogue one, similar to Minka, is like if the Jets do win 8 games and DeMario has a great year, like he has all the respect. Like Bobby Wagner's been getting all pros and he's been dog shit for 5 years. Like it's based on name reputation. Mosley got an all pro, and I think 22 or 23 were like name recognition wise guys around the league. If they see DeMario's 170 tackles and the Jets are 8-9, like he's out of shot. But it feels like Membu's got their best shot unless, again, one of the rookies or other young guys really pops.
Great answer there. This one is from Yankee Stadium Chicken Bucket. I'm only reading this because I know you'll love the name. As a fellow Yankee fan, says week 2 is extremely important because the Packers are overrated and we have their pick. Amen. And if Mike is not playing,
2 weeks of the year are huge, man. Like even week 3 to an extent too. I mean, the Lions are going to be missing their starting center. The Jets invested a ton of money at D tackle. Goff can't throw against teams with interior pressure. Like I really would love to see them win 1 or 2 games in the first 3, and you could at least have a shot of feeling decent about yourself going into the middle second quarter.
Will, have you ever seen a player as good on the defensive side of the ball as George Lombard currently is?
He's been unbelievable, man. It just actually pisses you off more
that he wasn't up weeks ago.
Yeah, I just like
that we were gaslit into Anthony Volpe's an elite defender.
On telling its rating, and I had to watch shrimp arm Anthony Volpe, all due respect, and like hit his weird two-handed swing. Just to clarify, Bobby Wagner was obviously not actually dog shit, but he was a huge stat merchant the last couple of years in Washington, and with the Rams, and it felt like he was a first ballot Hall of Famer. But the point is, a lot of guys do end up with awards based on name recognition in the NFL because it's hard to watch all 32 teams. So yeah, no, Lombard's awesome. Please keep Spencer Jones up. Elliot Ramos stinks.
He's batting cleanup tonight.
Of course he is. Aaron Boone likes fellatio in and around his mouth. But yeah, it's batting Elliot Ramos fourth is just the most Cashman thing of all time. Having to justify an awful trade 2 weeks in is terrible.
Awful. See you Saturday?
Yeah, see you Saturday, man. Anyone last minute wants to come buy tickets, hang out with me and Jake. Gotham Comedy Club in New York City, 5 to 8. We'll be talking Jets, putting some cocktails down, giving a ton of stuff away.
I didn't realize it was 5 o'clock, by the way. I totally thought it was at night, like the last one you guys did.
Yeah, no, we went the nice 5 to 8, and then we'll hop around some bars after. But yeah, no, it'll giving away a ton of SNY merch, Jets tickets, signed helmet. You can give Joe Capros a magic mind, and you can give Jake a nice hug as well.
I'm going to bring something for you guys to give away. You're going to love it.
I'm very excited. Hopefully,
You'll see.
If they're not as maniac underwear, I'm going to be started disappointed.
We do sell that in the merch store. Charles Gorman.
I did notice that. That'd be some very goon behavior if we started giving that away.
By the way, Gorman got a job, so if you want to congratulate Charles Gorman, you certainly
Charles
can.
Gorman, congrats on a job. Shout out. I saw Neil before. He didn't tell me I looked thick today, unfortunately. But, shout out to Neil and Uncle Giuseppe's.
Veteran Jet fan says, "Thanks, Will. Great job. You're very knowledgeable. Appreciate your fandom."
Wow. He likes me better than Oregon Jet. That's all that matters.
Will, talk to you soon. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks, man.
Will Parkinson, friend of Kyle Brandt, with us there. Check out Will's podcast, Turn on the Jets. And if you want more content, follow him on social media. I'm going to do more of your calls. I do want to make sure people are aware that the weekly raffle is Sunday, and we have a signed Chad Pennington helmet. It is a full-size helmet, so that's big. Signed Darrelle Revis football, and a signed Ken O'Brien helmet as our top 3 prizes. And end of the show today, we need 12 more people to enter. A Vinny Testaverde signed jersey will be up for grabs. Call in now if you want in on the show. We're presented today by my friends at Hexclad. I love grilling. I love the summer. I love barbecuing. And Hexclad barbecue products are the way to go if you're going to be partaking in any barbecue grilling all summer long. I'm personally a huge fan of the grill pan that they offer at Hexclad. Chef Kevin, by the way, highly recommended Hexclad products. They got awesome technology that allows you to basically take advantage of their stainless steel searing power, cast iron durability, and non-stick convenience. You'll get that smoky grilled flavor and great sear. Way less sticking, scraping. The cleanup is a lot easier afterwards. So it's exactly what you need if you're going to be hosting any barbecues for the next couple of weeks that we have summer left. Go to hexclad.com/Asman. Get 10% off your order. Again, it's hexclad.com/Asman. Again, take advantage. These are perfect for vegetables, seafood, fish kebabs, all those smaller foods. Check it out for yourself. All the info is linked in the description. Going to get to your calls now. Coming up on our show, comments, questions, super chats. They always cut the line. Appreciate all of you who are with us. Again, we're live twice a day, 10 a.m., 4 p.m., Monday through Friday, Eastern Standard Time, year round. We don't take off. We don't stop posting content. Year round, we are live for basically 4 hours a day, every day, talking about a football team that has failed to make the playoffs in 15 years. Think about that. That's how great this fan base is, that we can even do that in the first place. To your calls we go.
He's the brother man, Kansas dude who loves the Jets. He's the brother man, he can't be more polite and chat. He's the brother man, they call him Derek and he's totally cool. He's the brother man, he's Derek, the Kansas Jets fan.
Yo, Jake, what's up, brother man?
Hey, Derek.
How we doing today, man?
Oh, I'm living the dream.
Hell yeah. Dude, it's so crazy. I was just looking at your subscribers here. 62.3. I think I started tuning in last July daily, and I think you're at like 47 something. So some congrats and shout out, man.
Dude,
Hell
This
yeah.
football being back is huge. We plateaued for so long. You heard me always talking about it. And nice little bump. Shout out to everyone who's watching shorts, by the way.
Hell yeah.
I don't know if any of these people actually watch the show or they just watch the short clips, but that's been huge. We had one that had 120,000 views alone. Again, I gained almost 3,000 subscribers from one short that went mega viral. Crazy.
That's awesome. Couldn't be happier for you, brother. That's so awesome. 24 days away till Nashville. Cannot get whoever's going, fellow Asmaniacs. I absolutely cannot wait to get down there and meet you guys, man. It's going to be so much fun. I cannot wait. Been counting down the days about 24 days ago. So, great conversation by you and Will Paul today. I like Will Paul a lot. I know he gets a lot of grief, but I think he does a pretty good job. We gotta find a way to get that guy's energy level up just a little bit. He always seems just so down and just so depressed. We're gonna figure out a way to get his energy levels up just a little bit more.
He's got to see wins. Will has the tough job of trying to be positive when deep
Yeah.
down, I think he believes this team is going to be dog crap. That's my personal feeling. Will hasn't said that. I just know it's got to be hard to always try and find like the positives when it's been as bad as it's been rooting for this team.
Yeah, I feel like that's fair. You really can't blame the guy. I got just a couple quick thoughts on the Jets today. There's a statistic I've been aware of for a little while now. To be the 36 straight for 36 straight NFL seasons, 4 different teams have made the playoffs, and like the Patriots and the Chargers were picking in the top 10, like they were dog water garbage. So like I'm rooting for Glenn, but we got to see it this year, man. We need some player development. I want to see players actually being productive. I feel like Moochie's really put this team in a good position with all the offseason acquisitions. You know, it's really time to let's put the tread to the road here. I just really I'm with you and everybody else. You know, if I get roasted for this, it's okay. I think week 1's a must win. If you can't beat the Tennessee Titans, the NFC North last year was the only division to have the whole division win 9 or more games. So we got those 3 straight weeks after the Titans. So if you lose to the Titans, I don't know how you can feel very confident losing to that roster on the road or not, and then going into that gauntlet 3-game stretch against the NFC North. But I'm going to keep optimistic. But this is a massive year for Aaron Glenn. You guys were talking about how you win the games. Loved M12's question. 6-11, man. I hope not, because that means Geno gets hurt before week 1 even starts. If Cade's playing all 17 games, so definitely not hoping for that. I did see that Samini said that Cade's going to start. It's a game Friday.
When did Rich say that?
I think it was on his post on Instagram. Or he said he expected more playing time, I think maybe.
Yeah. Aaron Glenn said today he's not sure if Geno's going to start or not. And Rich Samini made a post that Cade will play more Friday, which is stating the obvious. He took 7 passing attempts in the first game, so he'll play more Friday for sure. But I don't know if he's starting yet. I think their plan is for Geno to start. It's just a matter of how is his ankle feeling.
Okay. Well, hopefully, yeah, I definitely would love to see Geno out there. You know, if it's not going to be in preseason game 2, hopefully for preseason game 3. Because I like to see him in the offense, and, you know, Garrett Wilson, AD Mitchell, and, you know, all the gang get like a couple of reps in before these games actually starting to hold some weight, you know. But I guess we'll see. I'm excited. I'm going to keep up the faith. But, yeah, I mean, you got before Harbaugh and Vrabel, the Chargers and Patriots were dog crap. So there's a lot of people I know that act like coaching don't matter. So this is a big prove it year for AG.
It means everything. You could you could flip it real quick with a good coach. Sean Payton took over Denver, and they were 8-9 in year 1, and they were in the playoffs year 2 with a rookie quarterback, and in the AFC Championship game year 3. Like you see this. Vrabel took over a 4-win team. They were in the Super Bowl last year. The Bears were a non-playoff team. They were a mess with Caleb Williams his rookie year. They won a playoff game last year. Trevor Lawrence was a bust, people were saying. Now, Liam Cohen goes to Jacksonville, and they were in the playoffs. Like, you see this all around the league. Turnovers happen quick if you get the right coach.
Yeah, no excuses. And I really believe this roster is talented enough to make the playoffs. And
if the Jets had Sean Payton as their head coach, how many people would be saying this is a 9 or 10 win team going to the playoffs? A lot.
Yeah. Yeah, even with Geno. Yeah, it's a stallion point, and I think
that's why their win total is 5.5. I don't think it's because of the talent. I think if you put a proven elite coach on the Jets right now, their win total would be probably 8.5.
Yeah, like a Sean McVay, or, you know, something like that.
Coaching the Jets, I think the Jets win total would be 8.5.
It's a good point. And it really matters. AG's our head coach, so I'm going to root for him. But man, I really got to see it this year because last year definitely left a lot to be desired. Breaking historically bad records in a lot of categories. But I'm gonna remain optimistic, brother.
Amen.
Hoping for a good season. Cannot wait to get down there and meet y'all.
Good point by VJF. Herbert 5-12 before Harbaugh got there. Yeah.
Yeah.
The great Justin Herbert, right? Well, you know what? You also need a good coach, and they were the most attractive job, and Harbaugh wanted that job because of Herbert. So that's why if the Jets are going to be bad, hopefully you're bad enough where you're in prime position to get an elite quarterback prospect coming out.
Yeah, we're very fortunate that we got three first rounders for next year. So I guess if the season goes, you want the season to go well. I guess we're in good position, but man, yeah. A lot of impatient Jet fans just want to see some dubs,
Hang in there, Derek.
I'll hang in there. Jets, Jets. Thanks for the time, Jake. I hope you all have a wonderful day, man.
Jets! I can't wait to meet Derek in person, man. He's been calling the show for a year already. Might be the nicest guy in our chat or our Discord. Which, by the way, a couple of you have been asking, how do I get into the Discord? It's included when you sign up for my Patreon, patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. If you want to join us for Jets Dolphins, under 10 tickets left for that event. Asmaniac home game meetup, October 25th, Dolphins at Jets, section 146. 70 tickets we purchased. Under 10 remain to join us in the Asmaniac section, and it includes a post-game field pass. So get your tickets if you're coming out. All right, right now, there is nobody on hold. So if you want the show to continue, call in and let's talk some Jets, talk some NFL. By the way, no surprise here, but Mike McCarthy announced today that Aaron Rodgers will not play on Friday. So you can forget that one. Neither will Mason Rudolph. So they're not playing their first or second string quarterback on Friday. So you're going to get Will Howard starting, and then Drew Allard will come in after. Can Cade Klubnik play the entire first half? Or if Gino's going to start the game for 2 drives or whatever it is, then Klubnik gets the rest. That's how it should be done. Mike McCarthy, proven head coach, won a lot of games. That's how it should be done. Let's get to more of your calls right now. Call in if you want in on the show. Shout out to Ozzy Fullers. He gifted a channel membership. He's in the Asmaniac raffle for 1.
Good morning.
It's actually the afternoon, Aaron, but thank you very much. Ozzy, appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us right now is a man who was out and about mowing lawns today.
Well, folks, this looks brand new to me. Look at that grass. This is very, very optimistic and very, very sexual. If you want answers, you get answers, all right? So just remember, if you need anything, you contact Storm Lawn Care. I am the man that can do it all.
Beast, you there? I see Beast laying on his bed. Look at that. Beast? Oh, he's out. He's snoring. We're going to have to wake him up, folks. Hey, if you're wearing headphones, lower your volume. If you have this playing in your home, lower the volume. If you have this playing through your Bluetooth speakers in your car right now, lower the volume. All right, what you're about to hear is going to be loud and powerful. We have to awaken the slumbering beast. Otherwise, I don't know if I could get my Wheel of Champions spun today to give someone a signed Vinny Testaverde jersey. All right, you hear that snore? That's a man's man. I'm going to sound the alarms. I gave everyone enough time to adjust their volumes. Hit it. Wake up! Wake up! Get up! We're doing a show here. Wake up! Get up!
What's this? What's this?
That's the first thing you do when you wake up? You eat chocolate?
No, this is my afternoon bar.
Of course.
Known as The Great.
Peanut butter cups with Clark Crunch.
I grew up with this when I was a kid, and I will always love this stuff. I got you something. Juicy Fruit. Remember Juicy Fruit?
I do.
Yeah, you loved that when you were a kid, didn't you? That good old Juicy Fruit. The taste that booyah.
Beast, I got an email from a new subscriber yesterday asking if you're a real human being. Said, hey, just started watching your show. How much do you pay this Beast guy to live up in that attic? You don't have to flip him off. I didn't even tell you the guy's name.
Right, sure. What else have I heard?
His name was Steven. He's a Jet fan from West Iceland. You want to shout him out? He doesn't think you're real.
Iceland, eh? You know what they used to say on Deep 2? Iceland!
No, West Islip.
Oh, West Iceland. All right.
Yes.
Okay, that's a. But this Geno injury, how long will this take? 2, maybe 3, maybe 4? What's it gonna take? Because we're getting closer to week 1. And week 1 is the revenge match. To beat Salah, you can't worry about Glenn. You gotta worry about working the team and turning things around. You just can't be going out there like a pinball game going and then go
I am Nightbot.
Oh my god.
Oh, God. Here we go.
What? More?
What's the deal with this Nightbot battle? I thought you guys stopped.
Now that is what I call absolutely perfect.
Ha 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 ha, Tubby. Can you hear me?
Go change your tampon.
Oh my god, look what you done, Beast. You pretended you had 35 world belts. No more protection from the Asmaniacs. Had to cut you off and cast you out with the sodomites. So Tom in here will make you feel like you've been run over by the lane train.
Oh!
Can you hear me? You catch my drift? Give him over 24 hours to think about it and go back to reality. Kick to the Shazols.
Oh my god.
I am Nightbot.
Go change your tampon.
I am Nightbot.
Oh my god.
Shut up, cunt sucky.
I am Nightbot.
Oh my god.
Shut up.
I am Nightbot.
Oh my god.
Go change your tampon.
I am Nightbot.
Oh my god.
This is going to be a shame. Shame. Shame, shame, shame. This show's a shame.
Kick to the Shazols.
Get your own line, asshole.
Kick to the Shazols.
You need to grow up.
Ha 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 ha, Tubby. Can you hear me?
Is Mad Max the Nightbot this whole time? What a stunning development. More of your calls right now as Beast sits in the hole courtesy of the Nightbot. Ralphie Rocks is up next. Hello, Ralphie.
Hey, Jake. How are you?
What's up, Ralphie? How's it going?
It's going good. It's going good. I know Beast had like a sexy lawn today, but
he did. It was a sexual
lawn, but I just got this.
Oh, hold on. Showcase that. There we go.
It's a beauty. It's a sexy.
I love that. Garrett Wilson signed 2022 say number 10 pick on the
Number 10
signature?
pick. Yes,
That's
it
awesome.
does. And this is definitely the sexiest Jet helmet, I think, ever.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I know some people are traditional with the Super Bowl winning one, but I think that one is.
I love it. Well, I'm glad you won the raffle, and I'm glad it arrived safely, because that's a great helmet.
Yeah, they got here. Thanks a lot. I don't win that much, but I win a lot of quality prizes from you. So
You really do.
yeah, hopefully Vinny T will be the next one.
There you go.
I got a Vinny T signed football in my collection.
Ooh, we got to get the matching jersey now. Love
I didn't have to shower with him or anything to get it, so that was,
it's good to know that you're not Neil.
yeah, I got it after a game against the Chargers. I think we had a friend from Long Beach who was on the Chargers, and like a family friend, and I feel like that was the year that Pennington got hurt. Maybe all the backups were getting hurt, so they called Vinny like off his couch to come in.
Yeah, 2005.
That was the year, yeah. And so I met him after the game, and it's pretty cool. Funny story. I don't think I shared it before, but when my wife and I moved our second house, we bought it back in her family's development in Douglaston, Queens, like a co-op development, and I bought it from Vinny Testaverde's sister and brother-in-law, and we put the money down on the house, and we had to wait. They were renting it out, so they had to like basically wait for the rental to end, and then I get a call from his sister, from Vinny's sister, the wife of the guy that was selling the house. Her name was Maria. Is still Maria. And she said, I don't think I can sell you the house. My mom, my brother Vinny signing with the Jets, and my mom wants me to offer him the co-op first. And I'm like, he's going to move with all this guy's money. He's going to move to Douglaston, Queens in a co-op. So she said, well, we're a very Italian family. We have to ask him first if he wants it. I'm like, if he's going to knock me out, believe me, he's my favorite player ever. So if I get knocked out from somebody, it would gladly be him. But of course, he moved to like Huntington in a gated community. And that was fine to have a co-op in Douglaston, Queens. But I relayed that when he signed that after the game. I relayed that story to him. And it's pretty funny.
That's cool.
He's a nice
That's
guy.
awesome. Yeah, everyone says I've interviewed him one time.
He was basically surprised, a very humble guy. He was surprised that he would be my favorite player ever, which
He's a
was like
Long Island guy. Was
Italian
for the Jets. Yeah,
Italian, Long Island, and also when I was 12, my grandparents moved to Fort Lauderdale from I'm from Mount Vernon in Westchester, and they moved to Fort Lauderdale, and it was like 1979, and I kept reading the newspaper, watching the news, and they kept saying my University of Miami football team's finally going to be good again, because I think they did drop the program after a while, like in the late 70s. And like, we got this new quarterback, Jim Kelly. And it was like an unbelievable, offensive performance. And Vinny Testaverde and Bernie Kosar basically followed up Jim Kelly. So they had obviously a great run there where they were a great team. And so that's why he became my favorite guy. He was like Italian, Long Island, New York area, University of Miami. He was like so surprised that anyone would say that they were his favorite player ever. But he's probably like in the top 15 in touchdowns thrown, probably. I mean, he played so long.
Yeah, I mean, he was first pick in the draft.
Compiler. He's definitely a compiler.
Yeah, he had an incredibly long career. I mean, think about it. He was the first pick in the draft. What year? In the 80s, right? Like late 80s?
I think it was like 83. Maybe it was the Heisman.
Early 80s?
I think 83 he was the Heisman. Maybe 83 or 84.
He was the number one pick. I mean, his first year was 87, so it was the late 80s. Yeah.
86, yeah. So definitely, he was definitely a compiler. I mean, I think he ended up with New England towards the end. They brought him off his couch.
He bounced around everywhere at the end.
Yeah. The question follow up from this morning's show, kind of ticks me off that Glenn keeps saying like his biggest mistake last year was the defense. Like, because to me that's such a cop out. Because, I mean, if he wants to only run the defense, then he should be a defensive coordinator. And the whole idea of being a coach is being able to manage all three positions, basically be like a CEO. And if you have a defensive strategy, to basically pass that down, so whoever you make coordinator instills your defense, but you're not calling it. You're the head coach. You have a lot of other duties, especially during the game. And so you're entrusting people to run your program, just like any CEO would want his managers or her managers to run their business the way that they want to, because they can't be in 3 different places at one time. So he's the one that had Wilkes, and he's the one who's supposed to say, okay, here's what I want to do each week in terms of strategy. And so for you to say that was my biggest problem, like, that's a coaching problem. Like, you're not being able to teach it to your coordinator to then pass it on to your players. I mean, why will we expect anything to be different now just because he still has a coordinator, the Duke of defense? So, like, what's the difference?
He's taking over, baby. He's got his scheme installed, and I mean, to me, it's a cop out because his plan was to hire Wink Martindale and once again delegate responsibilities to someone else. Like, that wasn't his biggest mistake. It was his coaching staff in general was his biggest mistake. Like, that's what doomed him. His staff stunk. He fired over 50% of them.
Yeah, but I mean, you need to get people that will instill your own defense. Like,
right,
Bill
he made a huge mistake.
Bill Belichick is a great defensive mind, but obviously he had to coach both sides of the ball and special teams and be in charge of all of those things. And so he had multiple defensive coordinators while he was at New England. And so you can't just say, well, I left it all on to them. I mean, that's a crazy thing that you'll be the head coach and you are a defensive coordinator and you won't have any of your defensive schemes put into play, that you're just going to let somebody else run with it. I mean, that's crazy. That just shows that you're lazy. So he wouldn't run the offense. He wasn't running the defense. He wasn't running special teams. What's he doing? He's got to oversee everything as a CEO.
He was horrible. So yeah, of course. Yeah. I mean, he's lucky to have a job right now. He got to rehire his staff. Let's see if he did a better job.
But don't you think that's like a crazy excuse? Like, you're the head coach.
Of course. It falls on him. He's the head coach. He hired Steve Wilkes. At any point he could have said, we're running this. We're doing it my way now. He didn't.
Yeah, like Ben Johnson, right? He's a great offensive mind, okay? But he can't be the offensive coordinator during games. He's got to, and even during practices, he has to see what's going on with the defense. Doesn't he have to have?
But he calls the plays, though.
Okay.
He still calls the plays, but there's also responsibilities of being a head coach. Like, that's where Brian Duker comes in. He's the one going to be giving the instruction to the guys when the offense is on the field. Aaron Glenn's got to be watching the game so he can call timeouts. He could decide whether to go for it. He could decide what their strategy is going to be on 4th and short. Do they kick it? Do they go for it? Is he going to tell Frank Reich, run the football here or run it? Like, these are head coach responsibilities, and he's still in charge of the defense, but you got to have coordinators who could coach up their side of the ball when the other side of the ball is on the field.
Yeah. I mean, Johnson, he has to still have people that are putting in the game plan during the week. And
correct. And Brian Duker knows him from their days with the Lions, and hopefully he's a good lieutenant to Glenn.
I just think it's a huge cop-out to say that was my biggest problem.
It is, because everything was a problem. It wasn't just that. Like, it's weak to say that's why the Jets were bad. That's why they didn't have a single interception. Your biggest mistake was Justin Fields and the coaching staff you hired. That's their biggest mistake.
I mean, I think the plus minus on the also the plus minus on the receiving touchdowns given up versus receiving touchdowns had last year was maybe like an NFL record. I think maybe we had like 15 receiving touchdowns on offense, primarily because Garrett Wilson went down. And then we gave up over 40, I think, passing touchdowns. I think there's like a tremendous amount.
It was bad, Ralphie. I don't know what the answer is. They were horrific.
Terrible. So it's got to be better this year. I still have a little bit of hope for the beginning of this year.
The arrow's pointed up. It can't be any worse.
Well, under the Jets jersey is going to be a March for Arch shirt, I think, in Tennessee. If we lose, I'll just
I'm wearing that on the post-game show if they lose.
I'll leave section 110 with the March for Arch shirt.
Yeah, it's the tank's on.
I'll keep the jersey on.
Unreal. Good call, Ralphie. Appreciate
All right, thanks. Have a good one.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ralphie rocks.
Tubby, can you hear me?
I'll kick your fucking ass. You little
I am
dildo.
Nightbot.
Oh my God.
Hey, put your camera on, Beast.
I've had it.
What's wrong?
I worked my fucking
I
ass
am Nightbot.
Oh my God.
all day today.
I am Nightbot.
Oh my God.
You want to go?
I am Nightbot.
Oh my god.
You want to go?
Ha 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 ha, Tubby. Can you hear me?
I'll kick you in the ass and break your nuts.
Oh my god.
I get no respect on
Kick
this.
to the Shazels.
It's the same shit every.
Kick to the Shazels.
Enough.
I am Nightbot.
Oh my god.
I don't want. You cut the shit. Cut the shit.
Oh my god.
How were the lawns today, Beast?
A pain in the ass. I sweated almost 6 gallons of sweat. Well, folks, this looks brand new to me. Look at that grass. This is very, very optimistic and very, very sexual. If you want answers, you get answers, all right? So just remember, if you need anything, you contact Storm Lawn Care. I am the man that can do it all.
Now, that's a man's man right there. Mad Max, a.k.a. Nightbot, might have sent Beast to the hole, but you can't take away what Beast accomplished in lawn care today, folks. Windy City Jet fan in the house, in the raffle for a signed Vinny T jersey for 5 entries. Hell yeah, let's go.
Jet up, let's go.
Yeah, Gino.
Just don't let go of the rope.
I would never. Candyman says, who wants to fly with them effing jets? Jet up. Don't let go of the rope. Oh, we could never.
Who want to fly with them? Yeah!
Oh, yeah. All right, open phone lines. If anyone else wants in on the conversation, anything from the Jets to news around the NFL to lawns of the sexual variety, certainly can be discussed on this program. Make sure you guys check out the interview I did with Jets celebrity fan, hip-hop legend, Q-Tip. Had him on radio yesterday. That full interview is up on my channel. Hit the like button. Comments, questions, your super chats, they will cut the line. Under 30 hats are left for our pain line. Pain shirts and hats. Thinking these could sell out by the end of the weekend. So if you want one, we only made 100. JakeAsman.com/shop. These will never go out of style. I can't wait. I ordered mine, so I'm pumped. I am pumped up, as you can imagine. Let's see here. Circa. You've heard me talk about this. We're headed out there in a week. A week from today, I'll be in Vegas. Can't wait. Circasports.com for all the info on their pro football betting contest. I'm signing up for the Circa Million. Got to start thinking about who we're picking week 1. $20 million guaranteed in the Circa Million Circa Survivor contest. So get ready. There's $30 million total in guaranteed prizes across Circa's 3 contests. The Circa Million, which is a pro football picks contest. The Circa Survivor, which is pick one team every week. They better win. If they lose, you're out. All the info for each of these contests is at circasports.com. Enter in Nevada and play from anywhere. It was Wayne Corbet's birthday the other day. So for those of you who didn't know, everyone wish happy birthday to Wayne Corbett. And in honor of that, I want to play you guys an epic story that Rich Cimini told in a recent episode of our Jets Collective podcast. All right, Rich. Jet preseason kicks off tomorrow. You've seen it all basically in your time around this team. So what is the craziest or your favorite preseason memory that you could share with the collective audience?
Yeah. I've seen more preseason games that I care to remember, but there's one in particular. Now we're going to go back a ways here, guys. This is the mid-90s. The Jets are playing, now hear me out, they're playing a preseason game in Jackson, Mississippi. They're playing the Eagles. Wow. Don't ask me why. It's like a special game. I don't know why they were in Jackson. So they're in Jackson against the Eagles. Brutally hot night, as you could imagine, in Mississippi in the summertime. But so this is pre-cell phone days. I'm working for Newsday at the time as the beat writer. We file the story during the game, and then the plan is to call in quotes after the game so my editor could insert that into the story to make our edition. So there was a deadline, and the deadline was this. Rich Kotite was gracious enough to allow the beat writers to fly home on the team charter after the game, so we didn't have to spend an extra night in Jackson. So we couldn't go back to the press box. We had to do it fast. So I had to go in the locker room, get my quotes, get out to the payphone. Yes, a payphone outside the locker room to call in my quotes. So I'm on a tight time watch here. So I go out and there's this player at the payphone, and I'm waiting. And this player, as I can hear him talking, is clearly talking to his parents, giving them like a play-by-play of what he did in the game. The game wasn't even on live TV. It was a tape delay, and this rookie player is giving the play-by-play, and I'm looking at my watch, and I'm like, Kotai's going to leave me at the stadium here.
Oh, shit.
If this guy doesn't hurry up. And so the guy finishes the phone call and walks away, and the player was a rookie free agent named Wayne Corbett.
Wow.
Hey, that's my boy.
I always remembered that. He was like a little kid calling his parents, telling them, you never believe what I just did in this game. And 3 weeks later, he's in the starting lineup, week 1, Jets at Miami. Great story. And I think I did get my quotes in on time, even though Wayne was hogging the phone that night. I did get my quotes in, and we know what happened to Wayne Corbett.
Great story. Happy belated to the great Wayne Corbett. Ralphie rocks in the raffle and wants to win the Vinny T signed jersey. Ralphie is in for 1. He gifted a membership, and it went to listener Frank Vessioni. So, Frank, make sure you say thank you to Ralphie Rocks for the gifted membership.
Good job.
Hit the like button. Your comments, your questions, super chats, always cut the line. I've begun counting all the raffle names. Beast wrote in earlier. I wanted to ask him about it, and then he fell asleep, and then Mad Max, a.k.a. Nightbot, sent him to the hole. I just made a pepperoni pizza burger. So, Beast, we saw eating the peanut butter chocolate cup, and he made a pepperoni pizza burger. That, to me, sounds outstanding. And I honestly want to hear more about it. So I'm going to go to the hole and ask.
Well, folks, this looks brand new to me. Look at that grass. This is very, very optimistic and very, very sexual. If you want answers, you get answers, all right? So just remember, if you need anything, you contact Storm Lawn Care. I am the man that can do it all.
Hey, Beast, tell us about this pepperoni pizza burger.
I bought 2 fresh burgers today from Fairplay.
I can't see you. Can you put your camera on? It's hard to have a conversation with somebody.
I don't want to see the fucking thing. I've already lost my temper today.
Why can't you put your camera on? We're just having a conversation.
6 gallons of sweat today.
We're having a conversation. 6 gallons of sweat. I want to hear about this pepperoni pizza burger.
There goes my temper. There goes.
I know your temper is going. Tell me about this pepperoni pizza burger with your camera on. How am I supposed to get you out of the hole if I don't even know where to start?
I'll email it to you.
I don't want you to email it to me.
I have a rough day getting it done.
What's the temperature in the hole? Is it cold in there? Is it hot?
Well, Mad Max can suck my ass to the bowels of hell.
That seems aggressive.
I can't stand him. I have a rough day, and I'm trying to figure things out with my life, and I can't get it together. I almost wanted to do something crazy and drastic today, and I got to deal with this shit.
I thought you did something crazy today. Hey, can you put your camera on? I can't hear you now. Are you there?
Can you hear me?
Wait 1 minute.
Are you there?
Wait.
Can you hear me?
I don't know if he's there.
Oh, fuck you, slime ball.
I think I need a tech support guy. The problem is, Beast, you're the tech support guy. I can't hear you.
When a caller sounds like shit and the show's about to split, you need some tech support. Call Beast. Bring on the flabby tits. Beast Breaker.
Beast?
I put the headset on a lot easier.
I can't hear you still. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Bullshit.
I think Nightbot connected your mic to the camera. Put the camera on, see if that works.
Can you hear me?
No, I can't. Put the camera on. He's gone. Just like that. Unbelievable. I don't know what's happening here. Let me try to get to the bottom of this.
Well, folks, this looks brand new to me. Look at that grass. This is very, very optimistic and very, very sexual. If you want answers, you get answers, all right? So just remember, if you need anything, you contact Storm Lawn Care. I am the man that can do it all.
Oh, no. I'm in the hole with Beast now? Nightbot, what have you done? What the hell? I don't want to be in the hole. I got to do the show.
Freaking side's starting to hurt because I'm already yelling and screaming.
He put us both in the hole, Beast.
Verga.
Who is this guy, Nightbot? Who the hell does he think he is?
Tubby, can you hear me?
Oh, no chance, Mad Max. We will not stand for this. Want to know why? Because Frank P says, release the beast. Let's go, Frank P. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Let's go. Oh, yeah. Freedom at last.
Now look what you done, Mad Max. No more protection from the Asmaniacs. Had you cut you off and cast you out with the sodomites. Some time in here will make you feel like you've been run over by the lane train. You understand me? You catch my drift? Give her 24 hours to think about it.
Gracias, amigo. Just do the show today, please.
Why don't you say in English, thank you, Frank P.
Thanks, Frank P. Let Jake do the show today. I don't need any more headaches.
What's wrong?
Okay. I got.
Looks like you had a good day today.
No. This is. I can start. I'm feeling like a little pinch.
You're feeling a little pinch.
Yeah, I don't like that pinch. When I start screaming like from the top of my lungs, I know that pinch feeling. That's telling me you better control your temper, or it's gonna be
Have you thought about eating better? You know, the buttercup, peanut butter, chocolate.
Oh, I know what I gotta
pizza.
do. I already know how to make that pepperoni pizza burger. We'll
That's
see.
not very healthy. Have you thought about eating healthier?
Well, you gotta understand something. These are hard times, very difficult times.
Of course.
I mean, because right now everybody's going through what is called struggles, and the struggles are real, and it's happening. Not just to you, not just to me, everybody. It's because why? Money keeps going up, taxes keep going through the roof, and I'm not answering that phone. They can go screw themselves, and I don't no time for their crap. They can wait their turn like everybody else. It's called take a ticket, get in line. And you can wait.
Hungry Hippo says, are you going back to retirement?
Where have you been the last so many years?
Charles Gorman got a job, Beast. Are you going back to unemployment?
So? Is that going to bother me? No.
You're not bothered by Gorman?
I am my own person.
Gorman's very successful now.
You know what? That's him. So what? Big deal. Does that bother me? No. I'm my own boss. Everybody's got their own opinion. Everyone's their own boss.
Ralphie wants to know, was the peanut butter cup your appetizer to the pepperoni pizza burger?
Right now, I have enough things to worry about right now.
Are you crying right now?
No. I'm just.
You look like you're going to cry.
It's because I've had it. Enough is enough.
What are you crying over specifically? I'm just trying to follow.
It's getting to the point where this crap that I'm starting to see, this whole whoever this moron is,
are we crying over
I'm going to turn him inside out like a tampon on his rag.
Who are you specifically referring to?
Clownbot.
So Clownbot. Do you believe Clownbot is Mad Max?
Oh yeah. That's what I saw today. Somebody's got a big death wish on his head, and and when you play with a shark, you're playing with hundreds of sharks. So
I agree.
remember,
I saw this
the
image
shark-
earlier.
The shark is a killer. The shark is a killer.
These were photographs captured of the Nightbot appearance. It looks like Mad Max.
Yeah, well, he's a dead man. When you play with a shark, you got thousands of them right behind you. Because what the sharks like to do, they feast their prey on the weak. See,
But how are you going to deal with the Nightbot, aka Mad Max, if you keep having pain every time you eat chocolate?
don't worry. Don't even worry. I got some tricks up my sleeve. You want to dance with the devil, you're gonna pay the price. See, old saying goes like this: you fuck with a falcon, you better learn to fly.
Show us how to fly.
You want to fly?
Yeah, show us how it's done.
Fly.
Absolutely.
That felt good. That felt good.
You feel good?
Hey, I'm not Batman. There's only one Batman. There's only
Bruce
one
Wayne?
Batman. What happened?
Bruce Wayne?
Yes.
Kristen
and you know
Bell?
who's Batman? No. Michael Keaton. The guy that goes,
Robert Patterson?
Michael Keaton, baby.
George Clooney?
Michael. He sucks.
Adam West?
Now he can act. He can act at least. I like Adam West. Adam West is a very talented guy, and and that one girl passed away just a couple days yesterday.
Hey, JD says your underwear is riding a bit low.
I don't give a rat's ass about my. Wait, you want to talk about undergarments? You could talk about that in a magazine somewhere. Don't worry about my underwear. Hey, just because I get good qualities from the thrift store, because you know what's funny, and I've done my research on this. Over 25 million people go to the thrift store. Why? Because things are too high. Things are too expensive. And you know what? I'm proud of
Kick
you.
to the schnozzles.
Get out of here, Mad Max.
Yeah. You need to get better lines and stop stealing my freaking lines, you dumb shit.
Oh my god.
You do-up dago. Don't think I'm not stupid, son.
Great quote from Beast. Beast just said, quote, "Don't think I'm not stupid."
Damn right. And this, my folks, get your brand new Ultimate T-shirt.
It's well said by the Beast. Frank P, I got you in the raffle for 10. What a gesture by you to get Beast out of the hole there. Derek, the Kansas Jet fan, gifted a membership. He's in the raffle for 1. Kyle Clifton checks in with an Asmaniac super chat, says, "Raise my standards. Other Kyle, I wanted AG fired." Not you, Kyle. Kyle Brandt. I see what you're doing there. I see what you're doing. Ladies and gentlemen, a couple calls left, and then, well, we got the Wheel of Champions to spin. Joining us right now on the Gusbuster Umbrella Hotline is this man.
Now that is a hot take. Damn.
Hey, what's happening, Jake?
Hello, Ricky.
I just popped in real quick to say hello. Had somebody tell me today they knew me from the Jake Asman show, but didn't know I had my own show. So I had to fill them in. And you know what? I'm thinking that sometime before the Kansas City game, I want to let enough games elapse in the meantime to get a decent read on where this team actually is. I didn't want to do it like after the first 4, because that 3 out of those 4 are going to be tough games for us. But week 7, week 8, something like that. I'm gonna have to see if I can't get you to come back on the show sometime. And by the way, thank you for always popping in and supporting me. I'm very very proud to be part of the Jake Asman coaching tree. Definitely appreciate that. And
you still quit smoking, Ricky?
Yes, it has been. I want to say a weekend. I guess just 2 or 3 days. I'll have to look and see what the actual last day was. But yeah, it's going on 10 days now. So that's cigarettes.
Now, what are you doing for employment, by the way? Because I know you mentioned that you were between jobs.
I am between jobs at the moment. However, Friday, I actually have to miss the game on Friday, but Friday I'm doing a setup and tear down for the Rob Zombie show here at the amphitheater. And so when I go over there, I'm going to try to talk to some people and see if I can't go ahead and link up with those guys. And with any luck, go ahead and be able to pick up the whole rest of that tour. So fingers crossed, we'll see how that goes. It's the production company that's putting that on is not one that I've worked with before, so I don't really have any kind of inside track, but I'm going to see what happens.
So you've heard Charles Gorman got a job, right?
Yes, I did.
J-O-B, job.
So we had an open spot on Mount Unemployment, and I see right now you're currently on it. So we got to take you off this because it sounds like you have a gig.
Yeah, my spot there will be very short lived. That's not gonna be there long. But hey, you know what? I worked at that last job some crazy ass hours for a long time. So initially the break was nice, but I'm tired of it. I'm ready to get back to work. So yeah, I won't be up there long.
Are you willing to work when the temperature is above 85 degrees? Because that's why Beast is on Mount Unemployment. His job is very, very limited.
Yeah, there's this great invention called air conditioning. Like, get a job inside, dude. Like it's not that hard to figure out.
J-O-B, job.
Beast, have you thought about getting a job inside, as Ricky suggests?
What am I going to find here? Nothing. I have what I have. I like what I have, and I got what I need. I don't need any more. I already gone through enough.
What about the lawns, though? More lawns.
We'll see what happens. We're going to see what happens right now because we don't know what the hell's going to happen yet. And then just this past week in Colorado, there was a snowstorm in Colorado.
What does that have to do with living in Illinois, where you live?
I read all the crazy stuff on the internet. And why?
Well, what does that have to do with you getting
it's
more
called to prepare
jobs?
for these times. These times are very strange these days.
But explain to me the Colorado weather impacting you in Illinois.
Yeah, are you hoping
you don't know what
so much in Colorado?
We don't know what
in Chicago.
We don't know what the world's going to be like. So
true.
We're very different. See, you don't know what's about to happen next. We're not ready. See, everyone can sit and laugh about that, but what I watch on these weather reports, with the GPS and his GFS European models that I'm looking at.
Hey, Ted makes a good point, Beast. When you make money for lawns, you could buy a snowblower.
We know that, but it's called right now. Do I worry about that right now? I worry about life.
How do we get you off Mount Unemployment, though, Beast? I'm worried about you.
I'm trying to live a happier life. I'm trying to
Gorman
live a good
got
life.
off this.
So what? Does that bother me?
It seems like it does.
No, it doesn't. It's another day. I'm my own boss and I'm my own person.
Talk to me about this Hawaii hurricane.
Right now, Hawaii just got body slammed with probably one of the craziest hurricanes in over 100-some years. You don't know what's going to come next. You don't know what's going to happen next.
Hey, Nightbot says, Beast, you better watch yourself or I will eliminate you. Fear me.
I don't give a rat's ass about him. Matter of fact, I need to go take it easy before I do something a little more nuts.
How nuts we getting?
Enough. Vocal. Now, time to check my report. Report. Are you gonna sit there, or are you gonna stand and stand stall me? Oh, good. I can get into my account.
Account.
Mm-hmm.
You have an accountant, Beast?
No, I'm looking at my account. I'm looking at my my prepaid stuff, my prepaid card and stuff.
Okay. Right on.
Yeah, because I don't have a credit card anymore because they're all destroyed, ruined.
Well, folks, this looks brand new to me. Look at that grass. This is very, very optimistic and very, very sexual. If you want answers, you get answers, all right? So just remember, if you need anything, you contact Storm Lawn Care. I am the man that can do it all.
Thank you very much for the time, Ricky. Ryan McCarthy is in the raffle for one. Thank you, Ryan. Omar Ochoa is in the raffle for one. Last chance to get in. I'm ending the show shortly.
Good job.
Ladies and gentlemen, our closer is on the line. Jay Graves is up next. Hello, Jay Graves.
Well, I am honored to be the closer.
You're closing us out, unless someone else calls in that is dying to make some sort of take.
I happen to be off this afternoon because my afternoon client is on vacation, so I got out early. But first, did I hear that Beast buys his underwear at thrift shops? Because I heard him talking about underwear and about thrift shops. That is disgusting.
Yeah, he did seem to say that, to be honest with you. I don't know what's true, what's not. So what I like to do in these type of situations is bring them in and ask them.
Just leave a message. Just leave a message. Thank you.
I'm all about cooking, but not my undies.
Look. I've already screamed enough today. I already got my temper as high as it can get. And this, I'm worried about this right now because I don't want to start setting that off and then winding up going on the floor. You think I'm gonna like that?
Can I be a Gary? Yes or no? Do you buy your undies from a thrift shop? Yes or no?
Oh, what is this? What are we gonna have here? Another Gary? My God!
Yes or no? Do you buy your undies from a thrift shop?
I've seen plenty of people do this. You know why? Because people can't afford it any nowadays.
You buy used underwear, though. That's gross.
Look. Everybody's going through what is called very difficult times. It's very difficult times.
How's the standards, though? I mean, what if somebody had diarrhea on those underwear and now you're wearing them?
Look, I know what's happening right now in our world. We're all going through what is called difficult times.
You said that?
Because it's happening. Not just to me and you. Everybody's going through difficult times. Sure, some people are rich, and then you got people like me who are, you got two different sides. You got the rich, and then you got the poor.
You got a budget for brand new undies.
I basically fall right down here in the poor department.
I am Nightbot.
Oh my God.
Get the fuck out of here, you little worm, or I'm gonna kick you right in the schnozzle.
You don't like Max, do you?
Oh no, I don't. He's public enemy number one to get rid of. Couldn't wrestle his way out of a wet paper bag, yet I heard he eats wet burritos behind Taco Bell.
What are you going to do when you see him at the Miami game?
Destroy. Smash, crush, destroy, annihilate.
But if security sees that, they might kick you out.
As John Kreese once said, there is an old saying, the way of the fist. And what is that way? Strike first, strike hard, no mercy, sir. I can't hear you. Strike first, strike hard, no mercy. Very good.
Stallion advice.
Sir!
Well, folks, this looks brand new to me. Look at that grass. This is very, very optimistic and very, very sexual. If you want answers, you get answers, all right? So just remember, if you need anything, you contact Storm Lawn Care. I am the man that can do it all.
What I learned there, Jay Graves, is not the answer to the thrift store question. It was more about the fact that Mad Max apparently eats wet burritos behind Taco Bell.
Yeah, so I had to poke the wasp nest just a little bit. Sorry.
Look, it had to be done.
Yeah. So I'm calling in because one, like I said, I'm off early, and I want to start showing my face again. You know, it's football season when I start calling in again. And as much as I love being at games like I did last week, my ADHD brain does not let me lock in like I do at home. So I am excited to watch this week's game at home. Hopefully we play the ones again, kind of see a little more. And yeah, I want to see more David Bailey. I feel like he did things, but I feel like he didn't jump off the page.
He didn't play long enough. He only had 8 snaps.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I want to see a little more. So I'm excited. Yeah, I am. I'm starting to get they're pulling me in little by little like they do every year. I'm starting to get excited again. So like I said, I'm gonna call in, say hi, and start showing my face again.
Great call. Jay Graves,
All
welcome
love.
back.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jay Graves checking in. Saw the Jets in person on Friday night, sitting next to Charles Gorman. Maybe Jay Graves and Jenner J were good luck for Charles. Led to Charles getting his new job as a gas station attendant. For those who missed it, go back to the first show today. We had Charles on to break down the new job and what he's doing and what it all means.
Hey, everybody. Guess what? I finally got a job. You guys never thought I'd ever work. To all of you that doubted me, I say fuck you and fuck Friga. Whoa.
Gorman, an employed man. Beastbreaker writes in, to the haters, just because I go to the thrift store, I see many people go to the thrift store, so shut up and respect the thrift stores. Now, he spelled it thrift store, but I'm interpreting Beast. Beast, I agree. I love a good thrift store.
25 million people go to the thrift store all the time. I see it
The
happening.
thrift store is awesome. You don't got to apologize for going to a thrift store.
People like me who are, different categories. Like here's the difference. You got your rich, which are the highly sophisticated. You got the middle class that are busting their ass hard every day, and then you got the poor. I'm right here at the bottom, crawling my way up that ladder. You know why?
Why?
It takes a big man. It takes a big man to do a job, and it does. I see it happening to good people like me, and it happens every day. White, black, brown, anything that I see. You know why? Because people go through difficult times, and we're all going through these difficult times. But you know what gets us through?
How difficult are the times?
Money, budgeting, taxes. That's life. But you know what the best part is?
Running out of chocolate bars?
No. Jesus Christ brought us here, and he is our founding savior. And to all the haters who don't like Jesus, you can kiss my big ass.
Who doesn't like Jesus?
The clowns, the ones that sit behind their desk and beat off the neck.
Nightbot.
Oh my God.
Do you think Nightbot likes Jesus?
He's probably an atheist.
You know what they say? Max eats wet burritos behind Taco Bell.
Yeah, well, they're under investigation right now. Yes, they are. They're under investigation, and I've also been finding out that there's some chickens being rotted out with salmonella. And did you also know some guy in Popeye's chicken farted on the chicken? I'm sitting there going, what the hell? And then
someone farted on your chicken at Popeyes?
No. This actually happened in Alabama. Some guy in Alabama farted on the chicken at Popeyes and tried to sell it to somebody. And then in Louisiana, someone put a condom in in the chicken at Popeyes. That is disgusting. This is why Burger did tell me one good thing. Popeye's chicken equals diarrhea.
Dave Brigger told you that?
Yep, because Popeyes is not what it used to be.
Oh my God.
Enough, Max. That's good advice by Dave Brigger. Major Poonage says, this is the greatest show on earth. Put Charles in for another 3, please. I'll tell you what, Major Poonage. I can do that for you. Shout out to you. And by the way, Major Poonage won a signed Nick Mangold helmet in our weekly raffle on Sunday. That was mailed off today. So you will get it in the coming days, Major Poonage. Thanks again for your support. All right, last chance to get it on the show. What I love about this show is the variety of opinions. So Major Poonage just said this is the greatest show on earth. While R. Molosky says, Jake, you hit an all-time low with this a-hole, referring to Beast. I disagree. I would say my views have never been better. So I'm going to keep playing the hits. Chuck Wagon says, so we went from farting on chickens to condom on chickens. It's been a weird show. Derek, the Kansas Jet fan, wants to know if they farted on the chicken, did they get pink-eyed, Beast?
No, just the guy farted on the chicken, and they have the officers come in there and check the chicken, and they said they want that guy arrested. And
You ever choked the chicken?
Can somebody go get him Kool-Aid, please? Some fresh cherry Kool-Aid. As a matter of fact, I got sugar downstairs, and you know what?
Cherry.
I'm gonna sound just like Smokey right now, going, peanut butter no jelly, ham no burger. Ew! You ain't got
Big
none of
fella
that
says,
match.
screw you, Nightbot.
Now I feel like Smokey going, I don't do that stupid shit now. We gonna go get the sugar or what? Yes. Maybe after the show I'll make some Kool-Aid. You know what? I might just do that.
You do that, all right? It will keep it cool.
Peach mango. Actually, it's pretty good. Cherry's pretty good. I
Really?
like orange. I like tropical punch. I like
I
mixed
try
berry.
that.
I also like grape.
Should we have tropical punch at our Beast Feast in October?
Hey, you know what? Why not? I'll make a big batch. Four big batches of that, and then we'll all stuff it in the cooler. Make sure it's cold, because why? Cool is better. Why taste it warm? Because if you taste it warm, you're going.
Hey, Jersey Jet says, Beast, don't worry, your Doge check is in the mail.
Excuse me.
Good job.
Don't talk about Elon Musk like that. He did a good thing here. You know, let the man be. Now let's just go to the Wheel of Champions, please.
Are you going to be able to send us to the Wheel of Champions?
Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
Well, not with that attitude.
Well, how many names you got?
Well, I need some intensity. You know, I need some passion. Here, I'll come back to you. You get yourself situated. All right? Can't go to the Wheel of Champions just like that. This is a very important raffle for people. People's entire lives get changed on the show. You know? They win a Wheel of Champions prize, and they never have to work another day in their life. You can't just say, just go to the wheel. That's not acceptable. Can't do that. Need more passion. Need more energy. Need more oomph from the Beast. That's what it's all about. Let's try it again. Ladies and gentlemen, right now we go to the man who will send us to the Wheel of Champions.
String in the cheese. Now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome good afternoon, everybody. Me and Gene Oakland, Coliseum Home Video's very own girls. The Wheel of Champions awaits. Let's get one winner. Let's spin it. Let's get a winner. And remember, I want bamboo, tutti frutti, oh Rudy, tutti frutti, oh Rudy. Take it away.
Thanks, you fat bastard. It's time for that daily Asmaniac raffle. Let's spin the Jake Asman Show Wheel of Champions and find out which Asmaniac is winning an epic prize.
That's how it's done, Beast. Well done. Here we go. All the names from today's show in the morning, the afternoon, and our slightly over an hour film review show yesterday with Blewett. We got 79 total names here. Someone's going to win a signed Vinny Testaverde jersey. If you win, claim your prize by emailing me, asmanjake@gmail.com. Need your name and address so we know where to send it to. Good luck to everyone. But only one Asmaniac can win this prize. Everyone who entered the last 3 shows is, of course, in our weekly raffle on Sunday. Here we go. The Vinny T jersey goes to Bill Fund. William Fund. He's done it, baby. Yeah. J-E-T-S, Jets. Woo! Shout out to Bill Fund, longtime listener, big time supporter of the channel. I think Bill won these via Venmo, if memory serves, this morning. He entered. So, Bill, if you're out there, email me and I will get an address from you and I'll get you your signed Vinny T jersey this week. Again, thanks to everyone who tuned in. Less than 30 hats and shirts remain for the Pain Collection. JakeAsman.com/shop. Limited merch sale for anyone who wants hats or shirts from our store. These have been a huge hit. So I want to thank everyone who's already purchased merch that won't go out of style as long as we're Jet fans. That much we seem to know. All right. Big thank you to Will Parkinson for watching. We're back tomorrow morning. We'll have 2 shows tomorrow. You guys are the absolute greatest. Couldn't do it without you. Thanks to everyone who called in, watched, listened, all the podcast listeners out there. Haven't forgot about you on Apple and Spotify. Thank you for your support. And I'll leave you guys with a clip that I feel like deserves to be played on a day like today. So sit back, bask in the glory of all of it, and in honor of Charles Gorman getting a job, laugh your ass off. Go Jets.
Hey, Jake, how are you? I'm at one of my favorite cafes called Liberty Bagel.
Do you think the guy in the blue knows he's on one of the biggest shows on YouTube right now? Ask him if he's a Jet fan.
Excuse me, sir. I'm sorry to interrupt. Are you a Jet fan? He's a soccer fan. This is Jake Asman. He is an ESPN radio show host and a YouTuber like me, but he's been doing it longer than me.
Hi, Jake. Good morning.
How's it going? You guys don't know this, but the guy in front of you there, right? Charles, explain to them Asmaniac Madness and tell them that you're the #1 seed in the tournament.
He named the region after my mom's chicken soup. It's not Asman, it's Asman. She found your channel, dude. I'm so sorry about this.
Steady Eddie, I need you to tell me right now how much your sandwich and your brother's sandwich was total.
$44.18.
What the heck did you guys order? Charles, I just sent you a Venmo. Now look at this mug. Does this sandwich cure cancer? Is that why it's so much money? Thank the people behind you there for being willing to come on the show.
They left already.
Oh, I wonder why. Hey, real quick, Kyle, I got some breaking news here. This is the couple from the table. How about you pay for our food too, since you ruined our breakfast? At Dominic Ciampi, Venmo, please. This is quite the turn of events here. Ladies and gentlemen, the couple from the table is calling in. Is this real?
It's only $30. It's not 50.
Ours was only 30.
So Charles comes over to you. What did you think was happening?
I was very confused. He was talking a lot about his new home and stuff behind us loudly, and then he just came up at us.
The chat is very mixed whether or not I should send you guys the $30. I'm seeing some comments here saying, don't go for it, Jake. Rick says only pay them if they subscribe. Yeah, I'm going to need at least both of you to subscribe.
All
right. I'm leaning towards paying them the $30 here. Should I pay this couple $30 after their Charles Gorman experience at lunch?
I did not have on my bingo card that I would have my call hijacked by some random Jersey cafe couple this morning. This show never fails to surprise and delight. Yeah, I mean, I think you gotta.
You probably did him a favor because this country is totally overrun by useless carbs, but you did interrupt their breakfast. Like, I would not be as friendly.
We should pay those couple. They calling your show. That's a big thing.
I agree.
You got 2 customers now.
This looks like blue hooded sweatshirt guy, right? Everyone see this? Dave Briga is vehemently against me paying for this couple's food.
How down bad do you have to be to beg for $30 on the internet?
Wow, they're still watching the show. The couple's still watching the show. Look at this.
That's great. That's great. So if you're sitting there at a restaurant and someone comes up and bothers you, Jake Asman in New York should pay for your lunch. This is ridiculous. What are we doing here?
I think it's the least Jake can do. It's $30.
You're not very intelligent. Why is that Jake's responsibility? Someone cut the cord to your internet. I'm not listening. No, I can't hear it. I'll let you know with one line. Hold on.
Hey, order.
Hey, Dixon, what's up? How are you?
I'm good. Not sitting outside a restaurant with my mug and asking for change. What's going on?
It's not an expensive-ass restaurant, and I'm not begging for money. I have a great job.
You literally typed in the chat and said,
You're doing it for free. You're the idiot.
yeah, I mean, what are we doing?
Incredible. Yeah, your life is sitting on a show and not getting paid for it. You're free content.
Thank you, Jake.
You make him money.
Dixon, don't be so upsetty, spaghetti.
That's my line. Don't do that.
Sweetheart, I don't even know you, but I didn't mean to take your line. It's okay. You can take it back. Toodles!
Have a good one.
Ladies and gentlemen, the couple from the table. Unbelievable.
I think the second one. Excuse me.
How you doing, boss man?
You son of a bitch.
Yeah.
I finally figured out who that fag nightbot was. Faggot Mad Max. Oh, he's gonna get his ass whipped. That's right. Mm-hmm. Oh, he's got a bullseye on his head. And so I remember what Austin once said. How about I just paint a bullseye in your ass and just kick you around a few times?
Ha 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 ha, Tubby. Can you hear me? Ha 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 ha, Tubby. Can you hear me?
And to all a good night. We'll see you tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. And remember,
Ha 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 ha, Tubby. Can you hear me? Ha 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 ha, Tubby. Can you hear me?
Hey, here's the deal. Just got no chance unless you click on that like button. And you got to make sure you subscribe to the Jake Asman Show. You don't, you can get the f*** out. Now let's go, Asmaniacs. We're built for this shit.